but the screen's going to come. It's 4 over 3.
That's exactly what's happening. Cousins throws to the vacated spot, and Darnell Mooney can walk home for a touchdown.
Yep, that's right. The Atlanta Falcons plucks the Dallas Cowboys, take them down 27-21, and we are live at the Cowboys post-game show, and we're here to talk about it. Let's go. We on the replay, y'all, so we got to talk about it. Let's get into this thing. Dallas Cowboys lose to the Atlanta Falcons 21-27. It was a gallant effort. You know, they toughened it out. They try to do the best they could. But once again, we come up short. We come up short. And really don't know what to say. Really don't know what to say about this particular game right here outside of the injuries and the way it started. But again, this is the replay. So let's go, y'all. So yeah, the Dallas Cowboys fall to the Atlanta Falcons 21-27. I'm your host, Jabril, Real Deal Jabril, right here on the replay where we're still trying to make your day. And I need for you all to hit that subscribe, like, share, and notification button for me. Let's talk about it. Let's get into this thing, guys. The Dallas Cowboys started out, I think it even happened before the game because there was a lot of plays that they missed that they could have capitalized on, I felt, to make this game very, very interesting. Starting out in the first quarter, the Atlanta Falcons, you know, I think Dallas did a wonderful job of trying to up-tempo the game. They first came out, their first 3 passes, matter of fact, a series of that first quarter was 3 straight passes, which I thought was different. They was trying to do something different. But again, you know, Atlanta got the ball first in the first quarter. Robinson, you know, he had a carry of 9 yards. There was a 2nd and 8 that the Cowboys defense stopped on. Cowboys got the ball after the punt. Jake Ferguson, the first play was an 18-yard gain. And then there was another pass to Dottle. Then you had another pass to Ferguson again. Then there was a 1-yard run to Dottle. And then there was a pass to Dottle. But the drive stalled, and then Aubrey came in and had to kick a field goal, which made it 3-0. Of course, Atlanta get the football. And then when they get the ball, here's how they first series looked. First play was a 20-yard pass play to Mooney. Then you had Robinson on a 12-yard gain, another pass to London, which was 3 straight first down that the Atlanta Falcons picked up. Then they had a 3rd and 4 swing pass to Bijan Robinson, which made it 1st and goal. And of course, a play later, London caught a touchdown over Trayvon Diggs, which made the game 7-3. And I thought at that particular moment, Dallas still had a chance to go back down, keep the tempo up, and hopefully force another touchdown and make the game 10-7. But that didn't happen because when they got the ball back on the second series, Turpin had a 47-yard kickoff return that was called back or negated by a holding call on the tight end Shoemaker. Yeah, 47-yard kickoff return was negated by the tight end Shoemaker. So that was mistake number 1. This was them getting the ball back for the second time. So they started from their own 16-yard line. They had a run to Dodal, which was only 4 yards. Then Dak was sacked. And then Jalen Tolbert was wide open. He missed him. And then Dak was sacked again. And then he was, you know, it was 3 and out. So now we're back punting the football back to Atlanta. So now you got a 3rd and 13. Dallas stop. Jordan Lewis got hurt on that particular play. And Atlanta go for it on 4th and 4 when they got the ball back. And eventually they go down there and they score another touchdown, which made the game 14-3. So I don't really know why there seems to be somewhat of a mental block when Dallas is on offense. I don't know, you know, they talked about not having a number 2 receiver. Of course, Brandon Cooks didn't play once again due to a knee injury. Somebody needs to step up. I thought Jake Ferguson, they got the tight end involved in the game as well as they should have. I thought he was playing pretty well. And we kind of ran the ball well. I think Dodo, if you ask me, I think Dodo didn't run bad. He had a pretty decent ground game. They just kind of decided to go with the up-tempo offense and not run Dodo as much. But I think what happened with the Dallas Cowboys, there was a crucial 4th and 1. That was in the second quarter, crucial 4th and 1. And when you talk about not allowing a player such as Ezekiel Elliott not to even travel, right? You get a 4th down and 1, and they run a jet sweep to CeeDee Lamb. Now, I don't know about you, but they've always said that the quickest point between two short distance is a straight line. Yeah. The shortest point between two short distances is a straight line. They try to run CeeDee Lamb on a jet sweep on a 4th and 1, and it cost them. Then you have to ask yourself, had they brought Ezekiel Elliott on, I don't know really what happened. Undisclosed information is saying that they told him that he would be inactive, and maybe he felt some kind of way about that. I'm really not sure. Maybe more will come out this week. But he had some exchange of words with, I guess, a coach or whatever the case may be. So they decided not to allow Ezekiel Elliott to travel nor play in this game because they want to go with, I guess, Dodo and Dalvin Cook, which, to me, Dalvin Cook hadn't done anything. In fact, it cost them a costly penalty when they had 12 men in the huddle. He running off the field and didn't know that he wasn't supposed to even been on the field at that particular point in the game. But that's neither here nor there. But you have a 4th and 1, and these are the little nuances. I thought Greg Olsen pointed that out, when he was talking about how if the defensive lineman was down in a 2-point stand, but he was playing an upright position technique, perhaps that was a well-drawn up play that CeeDee Lamb could have gotten the first down. But nevertheless, that wasn't the case, and he got tackled, I think, maybe for a 1-yard loss on that play. But again, the shortest distance between two lines is a straight line. And if you had a back like a Ezekiel Elliott, I think you could have picked up that 1 yard, at least 1 yard. I think that's what you brought a guy like Ezekiel Elliott in here for to do. But nevertheless, Dallas Cowboys once again, they stalled offensively and Atlanta get the ball back. This was all in the second quarter. Now we go over to the third quarter of the game. They go in halftime down, and we know we've had our woes, our struggles in the third quarter, and they get the ball back second half. And what do they do second half? Let's look at it. They had a fourth in inches that came. This is what when they had the 12 players in the huddle. So he wound up getting a 5-yard penalty that took them out of 4th down in inches. That killed that drive. But let me say some of the, the plays on the defensive side of the ball. I mean, big shout out, man, to Overshawn. I thought he had one heck of a game. The linebacker number 13, Overshawn. And I thought Carl Lawson, the defensive end, number 55, who's actually from Georgia, I thought he played a heck of a game to come back home and play in front of his home crowd, so to speak. I thought those two individuals had a great game. But once again, Donovan Wilson. If y'all remember that touchdown with Ray McLeod, number 34 with the Atlanta Falcons, he didn't even try to run to the spot. They was doing cross zoning, running those intermediate routes, and he didn't take the right angle, man. He didn't get off his horse, as they say. Get off your horse, man, and run to the spot, because they're doing all these little bitty drag routes and so forth over the middle, these intermediate routes, and it seemed like he was just lackadaisical. I mean, it seemed like he didn't even think to, like, man, whatever crossing your zone, they was in a man coverage on the outside, but I'm saying they're playing like a loose coverage on the back end with the safeties. And he should have saw that crossing route that came. And these are the little nuances. The same way when Trayvon Diggs, he wasn't aware of who. I thought they was going to bump that coverage. I think I got that play right here on the touchdown when number 1, Mooney, ran the rear route. Let's take a look at that if we can. Actually, let me remove this. This was early in the, I think, third quarter when Diggs kind of got a little banged up. And he acted like he didn't know which man that he had. And then the guy wound up running that loop, which what they call like a wheel route, and he didn't get over in time enough. And it's the little things like that. Just the little things like that. That this may be the play right here. Let's take a look at it. Okay, actually, that's Donovan Wilson right there, where I was talking about where he didn't get over or didn't even press the coverage, man, to get over in time to even get this guy while he was running a crossing route. And I said last week, I said, man, our safeties, we just don't have all pro perennial type safety. We just don't. And I can't think of the last time that the Dallas Cowboys have went out and drafted a safety. Do you? If you know it, please chat it out in the comment, because I can't remember that where they went out and drafted. I'm talking about a top safety outside of Roy Williams from out of Oklahoma, who was the Jim Thorpe Award winner. Yeah, I know you may mention Darren Woodson, but Darren Woodson was actually drafted he played linebacker in college at Arizona State, and he was converted to a strong safety. But in terms of selecting a top safety in the draft, I don't think the Dallas Cowboys have drafted a safety in the top round since Roy Williams. I mean, I don't know, because this trash that we got back there right now is just they're not getting the job done. You know, again, Malik Hooker was a former first-round pick out of Ohio State University, and he was playing, really good football with the Indianapolis Colts. But when he tore his Achilles, it seemed like, man, he haven't reached that level since we picked him up. And I'm talking about, this is before Mike Zimmer. I saw this happening when Dan Quinn was our defensive coordinator. They keep talking about, this three-headed monster that we had last year with Javon Curse and all them guys. And I kept saying, man, you got to settle the back end of your defense. Your free safety is like the quarterback. He plays the quarterback position on the defensive side of the ball. He is your quarterback. He is the one that's communicating to the back half of your defense. And if you don't have a solid, rock-steady free safety, man, that can make these type of calls the way the Ryan Clarks did with the Troy Polamalu's, man, you're doomed. You're just actually doomed. And, I'm telling the truth, because neither one of them, I don't even think, have an interception. I don't think neither one of those guys have and it's 8 weeks into the season, and neither one of our safeties have an interception yet. And yeah, we're a little bit undermanned. We understand we got missing pieces on the defense and so forth. But I'm just a big I'm a big advocate of, if you're signed up to play in the National Football League and you're going to go to that window every Tuesday when they're cutting the check, when Jerry Jones is cutting the check, and you're going to reach across the window and pick up your check, you are a professional. That is your job. That is your 9 to 5. And I wouldn't be worried about the guy that's out. Even though that's my teammate, I just wouldn't be worried about the guys that's out, because here's an opportunity that's being presented to me to take care of my family and my future generation. And anybody knows who've played this sport for any length of time know there's always a little bit of politicking going on. Big shout out to Sherry. I see you in the house, Sherry. I know the Steelers was off this week. I know they had to buy this week. I got a smile on my face, and I think you know the reason why. But anyway, this is the replay, man. I want to thank y'all for joining me to replay what we're still trying to make your day. Don't forget to hit the subscribe, like, share, notification button. We're here talking about the Dallas Cowboys post-game show, the loss to the Atlanta Falcons. And to be honest with you, I did have the Atlanta Falcons winning this game. I just think it was time, because Kirk Cousins, man, he hadn't beaten the Dallas Cowboys. I think since he was with the Washington Commanders, and I think at the time they were the Washington Redskins. It's been that long since Kirk Cousins has beaten the Dallas Cowboys. So big shout out to the Atlanta Falcons. I think they're playing some heck of a ball. They got the young running back, Bijan Robinson. And man, did y'all see that young kid, man? I think they said out of the first 18 plays, he had like 13 touches of the first 18 plays that the Atlanta Falcons ran. Yeah, he had 13 touches out of 18 plays that the Atlanta Falcons ran. But I also think if you had it was an individual, kind of like an individual silent competition between him and Overshawn, because they was teammates at the University of Texas. And I would like to think, Overshawn won the battle, but he lost the war. But the battle between them two, say, man, Overshawn played his butt off, man. I think he is definitely he has the potential to become an elite linebacker in the NFL, because he got the speed, the length, the size. And I just think, barring any more major injuries, he can be a stud in the NFL. I really do, man. He played his heart out. And I think a lot of other guys played their heart out, man. I think, big shout out to CeeDee Lamb, man. You see face expressions like this right here.
NFL, you can just see it in CeeDee's face, the grimace. That man is in pain trying to battle through.
when you see facial expressions like that, don't want to come out the game, he's trying to help his team win. When you see those type of things, man, I'm gonna tell you, as a former player, man, you can't help but to connect with a CD Lamb because he wants it. He wants to be out there to help his team win, and he's fighting and battling through the pain. I think many of y'all remember or can remember back in the early 90s when Emmitt Smith had the separated shoulder problem up at the New York Giants when they was fighting for a playoff, and he gutted it out, man. He gutted it out. When you see players doing that, man, that's big time. That's big time because he wants it, man. And it just goes to show, there are some players on this team that wants to win. Now, granted, due to some of the injuries that the Cowboys been having, just really bad football. They've been in every one of these games, maybe with the exception of one, the New Orleans Saints. But, Dallas, I said it last week and I'm going to say it again. You cannot just dismiss the magnitude of a Michael Parsons in a game like this. Everybody know or should know that Kirk Cousins is a Statue of Liberty. Kirk Cousins is a Statue of Liberty. And you can get to Kirk Cousins the same way they could have got to Brock Purdy last week because he's standing in the pocket. I think the Dallas Cowboys missed several opportunities of sacking this guy. One of the plays we saw Kirk Cousins, he was scrambling and you thought he was sacked. And all of a sudden, I think it was Raymond, maybe Bajon Robinson. He breaks open in the middle of the field. He just kind of throw the ball side angles and he catches it and, of course, run for another 20 yards. And those plays like that, I just have to think that Michael Parsons, he gets there. He gets there. I think he's right at the top when you start talking about applying pressure. So you can't dismiss opportunities like that when you got a Michael Parsons out, you got a DeMarcus Lawrence out, and you got an all-pro corner in DaRon Bland. You saw the young rookie out there, Clark, number 21, missing tackles and so forth. Well, guess what? If you got a DaRon Bland out there, you can hold your position because every second that a defensive back is playing a wide receiver, it gives that defensive lineman just that much more opportunity or seconds to sack that quarterback. So that cannot go, be underestimated. Let me get into my comments. I got my boy Jerome is in the house. Shout out to you, big Jerome. I see he said come out of retirement, Jabril, and play some lockdown defense. You're being funny, man. You're being funny. But I did say give me 2 plays against Dak Prescott, man. I'll put my cleats on. I'll show you. I want the TV news, local news, and everything. All I need is 2 plays, though. After 2 plays, I'm no good no more. But that's how I feel towards Dak Prescott. I've been on record. I don't have to continue to repeat that. I've been on record talking about that. Dak Prescott, to me, as a former defensive player, to me, it's just something about his game, man, that he just don't make me want to open up and get out my back pedal. And especially when he's not on top of his game. Now we've seen Dak when he's been on top of his game, and he has like a 95, 100 point whatever quarterback rating. We've seen Dak Prescott, but the consistency. And I was talking to a buddy of mine earlier. I said, man, I tried, all of the pundits, the Keyshawn Johnsons and all these people on these shows, the, Stephen A. Smith and all these, you got to pay Dak his money. Where you going to find another quarterback? And I kept saying, Jerry, hold steadfast, man. Just hold steadfast. Hold steadfast, because now you on the books for that $60 million. And I kept saying, man, I got 9 years body of work from Dak Prescott. I've seen Dak Prescott. And if it walks like a duck, sound like a duck, damn it, it's a duck. You can't make it a squirrel. I keep telling y'all that now. You cannot make it a squirrel. Dak Prescott is what he is. Is it all his fault? Absolutely not. Because football, again, is the ultimate team sport. It's the ultimate team sport. But at the same time, I don't need you adding to the problem, Dak. I need you to make throws. I was telling my buddy, I said, look at it. It was the third quarter specifically because I notated. This is why I know. Third quarter, 4 minutes and 11 seconds left on the clock. And I said, this is do or die moment right here. Because if they can get some kind of points out of this drive, they're back in this game with a whole nother quarter, left. Boy, thank God the Dallas Cowboys got them a kicker by the name of Aubrey. Because he wound up ending that drive on a 57-yard, officially said 58 at first, but officially it was a 57-yard field goal. Now, any average kicker probably wouldn't have made that. And then they wouldn't have never got any points in the third quarter. But I just wanted to sit there and see with 4 minutes and 11 seconds left in the third quarter, would Dak Prescott become Superman? Would he step out and put his cape on and take them boys down there to a touchdown? And you know what? He failed again. So let me go over to the comment. Oh, okay, I got Rose in the house. Big shout out to Sway Wade. Man, he got so many different names. I don't even know how to say. He got Bar Joseph or Smokey Joe. Well, big shout out, man. It's my kinfolk, man. Wade is in the house, man. Let me see what he's talking about. If you on the on the TikTok, I'm gonna go there, kinfolk. Just give me a minute. I'll go to the TikTok. I'll go there, man. I'll go there. But what you got to talk about these Dallas Cowboys right now? That's what we need to be talking about. These Dallas Cowboys falling to the Atlanta Falcons 27-21. And again, you know, we had all types of opportunities. We did. We really did. I'm trying to look at after that when Dallas got the ball with 4 minutes, 11 seconds left. There was a 3rd down and 6, which he handed off to Loopy. He got the first down. The next play was a holding call on Guyton, the rookie. And did y'all know that the Dallas Cowboys at one time, they was 0 for 9 on 3rd and 4th down conversions? Yeah, 3rd and 4 on 4th down conversion, but it was 2nd and 20. He threw a 10-yard pass to Brooks, which he caught the pass, but then it was 3rd down and 10, and he tried to throw a pass, a tight end screen to Ferguson, which was blocked. And that's when Aubrey came in and kicked the field goal to make the game 21-13. Okay. So there were opportunities for Dak Prescott to take this game over. And again, we got failed. And soon after that, you know, Algeria for the Atlanta Falcons, the running back number 25, he ran it in for a touchdown because they had the field position. I think some of the mistakes by Mike McCarthy, let's talk about those mistakes by Mike McCarthy, because somebody shouted out, I saw it earlier on the social media, that Mike McCarthy had some dumb plays. I think he drew up some good play. They just wasn't executed. But I think the play to go for the fake punt, I think that was a bad call. And there was another play I'm trying to remember that he called that I questioned. But it came down to the execution, because it seemed like every time Dallas was in a position to do something, there's a penalty here, a penalty there, whatever the case may be. Seemed like it's always something that's stopping these guys from consistently driving the football down the field and scoring the ball, you know. But yeah, I think you know, I don't question, you know, Mike McCarthy, you know, his coaching staff, the Dallas Cowboys. I don't question these guys hunger to want to win, because I think they do. I mean, looking on the sideline, Mike McCarthy had the pad out, he threw it on the ground, he was very frustrated, very upset about not being able to complete that first down. I can't remember if they got a penalty on that call or not, but you know, you see CeeDee Lamb again trying to toughen it out. You see guys rallying to the football, but for whatever reason, it's just the little things. It's the little things, and I think when you have guys like Dalvin Cook that hadn't been there, you know, the young receiver Jalen Tobin still trying to come into his own. They had the rookie Flanora out there, number 80, and Brooks. You know, I just don't think Brooks get enough separation. And then when you're talking about big time players making big time, you know, plays in big time games, you know, Tobert, I know he left his feet a little bit, man, but you got to find a way to come up with that touchdown. And I know they go back to Turpin, and you know, little Turpin, man, all he needs is a little bit, just a little bit of room, but I just don't think you can go to this guy unless you throwing him open when he has bigger defenders on him. He's only 5'7", guys. He's 5'7". And if you're throwing a 50-50 jump ball, what make you think that this 5'7" guy wearing a buck 125 soaking wet is gonna out physical this man? You need another big body receiver. And I think Dallas, man, they just waste downs like that, man. Big shout out to my boy Daryl, man. Daryl Roberts in the house with me. Thank you for joining me, Daryl. This man, me and him go way, way back when we was elementary, man, still playing in the dirt. Big shout out to my boy. He said, I don't think they need Ezekiel for short yards. They have a fullback, number 40. Yeah, that's Loopy. They need to use him. He's not bad. Yeah, he picked up that first down on 3rd and 6. Well, I think it was 3rd and 6. Yeah, he got that first down on 3rd and 6, and you're right about that. I don't know. And then Zach Martin, man, y'all shout out in the comment. Let me know if Zach Martin, if y'all think Zach Martin if his great days are behind him now, because there was a play where I saw Zach, man, he just let the guy, I mean, it would have been a nice gain, I believe. And he just let the guy just come clean, unblocked. And I'm saying to myself, man, have he seen his best days go by? And if so, now you got to go back into the draft and get a right guard. And now it looks like it's a I don't know if it's a restart, which is why I'm saying I know people don't like to hear this. I know people don't like to hear this, but I'm going to say it anyway. They're sitting at what, 3-5 right now? So let's just say, hypothetically speaking, because the next couple of games, they're going into the division now, NFC East. And they got to play, Washington twice, who's playing really good football. They got to play the Eagles twice, who's playing really good football. And on any given Sunday, you already got to play the Giants again. But can we say for sure that that's going to be a guaranteed win? I don't think so. But a question I'm asking is simply this. If the Cowboys were to go, let's just say 5-12, they win 2 more games, 5-12, they're sitting there with the number 5, maybe 6, 7 pick of the NFL 2025 draft. And you just happen to get Shedeur Sanders falling in your lap. I mean, Shedeur Sanders, for whatever reason, fell into your laps. I want to know, come out in the chat for me, do you take him? Cowboy Nation, I'm asking you, do you take Shedeur Sanders? Now, I'm going to give you my answer. I say yes, you take Shedeur Sanders. The same way the Atlanta Falcons took Michael Penix Jr. out of Washington, even though they had signed Kirk Cousins. Because you're talking about the future. They may have to eat some of that money. And if that's the case, oh well. Because you should have gave me a phone call, Jerry Jones. I would have told you, man, no, wait it out. Wait it out, man. Let this season play out with Dak Prescott. And if you match whatever money he was going to get in free agency, he decided to go elsewhere, that's so cool. Because number one, he's going to make more money in endorsements with the Dallas Cowboys. We understand that. Plus, there's no state taxes. So if he don't want to match, if you match whatever another team was going to give him, if you couldn't go in and draft a person like Shedeur Sanders, then let him go ahead and walk then, man. And we'll just go ahead and push the restart button, because at that point, if you go, 5-12, you need to go ahead and fire Mike McCarthy anyway, and just bring in a whole nother new coaching staff and start it all over again. At least that would be my decision. What do y'all think? I mean, I just feel like Mike McCarthy, yeah, he can get to 12-5. He can get you some wins. But it's the same blow up that he had when he was with Green Bay. They only won, really, to me, that year right there, they should have never beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's get that understood. They backdoored into a Super Bowl because they weren't even playing that well that year. They just happened to get hot that year. I'll never forget with Charles Woodson and them boys. They just happened to get hot come December. And they went into the playoff on a win streak. They almost didn't even make the playoff. I think they needed somebody to win, and then they had to win. So they backdoored into the playoff, got on a hot streak, kind of like the Pittsburgh Steelers did that time when they had to play all their games on the road and went on to win the Super Bowl. That's kind of what happened to Green Bay that year. But ever since then, Green Bay and Mike McCarthy hadn't done anything. They hadn't done anything. So I don't think he's the answer. Personally, I just don't think Mike McCarthy is the answer for the Dallas Cowboys. I know we got some games still left, but I just don't think you can go any further with this particular group of guys, especially when you don't have certain players available, and this is the NFL. The NFL is not like college. You can't just hide guys, and NFL is a week to week. It's a week to week game, and everybody's running 4 3s and 4 5s, and you got big guys running 4 7s and 4 8s and 4 9s that weigh 280 and 300 pounds. So that's why they call it any given Sunday. So he just don't have the help, and I think by the time some of these guys do get healthy, I think that it's gonna be too late. I just think it's gonna be late. Let me get over to the comment. Yeah, I see my boy Blow is in the house. He said, I agree with you, man. 100, man. Yeah, Blow. I just feel like, man, by the time the Dallas Cowboys, if any of those guys try to come back in November, late November, maybe December, I think the season's gonna be far out of reach. I think right now they're playing on pride, doing what they got to do. But I just think, it's not going to be enough. Let's take a look a little bit more of these highlights. Let me see what I got here. This is the touchdown we saw earlier. I was over Donovan Wilson. We showed this one. Like I say, that boy right there, number 6, he got to go, man. And I used to defend him because he's out of Texas A&M. I think he's a really good safety in the box. But when it comes to pass defense, Donovan Wilson, man, he's not your guy. He's just not your guy. This was the fake punt. Atlanta got the ball back, and that's what happened after that fake punt. I don't know how y'all felt about that fake punt, but I guess the element of surprise is just part of it. And this is the tough running inside. the Atlanta Falcons, how they just pushed the Cowboys around on this touchdown right here.
To make free tackles or having to defend.
But you know, hey, you know what? Wasn't no quitting these boys because they put Cooper Rush in. Now, I know what y'all probably thinking. Cooper Rush might save the day. I had a little bit of hope too that Cooper Rush might save the day. You know, I think this was a tough catch right here by Jalen Tolbert.
Atlanta shows and brings pressure. Rush back in the end zone. It is a touchdown for Jalen Tolbert.
Yeah, I thought Cooper Rush was going to come in and say today. You see Dak Prescott. I think he had like 130 or 33 yards. He was something like 16 or 24, 133 yards with one touchdown. So that was his day. You know, he didn't do anything. They said he pulled up with a hamstring. The dude run a couple of times and he get a hamstring. Go figure, right? Not that he's a running quarterback anyway. Not that he's a running back quarterback anyway. But this was the play that I thought.
That's exactly what's happening.
This right here. Where Diggs throwing his arms up.
Can walk home for a touchdown.
Diggs throwing his arms up. But that play right there, I'm gonna show it again.
It's 4 over 3.
That's exactly what's happening.
He's on the man. He's on the man. He's sitting right there inside with the man. Now, normally in situations like that, they bump that. You say bump. That means the guy, when you say bump, the next defensive player on the outside would take the guy that's releasing to him. So that's why Diggs was probably throwing his arms up in the air. But when he got on him, I mean, prior to him even getting on the guy, he didn't even know where to line up at. But those are the mistakes, the little nuances, man, that they got to call out in that secondary. And I think he was kind of banged up on that play. And those are the results. But the last play right here, if we could have got this ball right here back,
try to generate as
could have
many
made it real
awkward
interesting.
times. He just
I thought Cooper Rush,
kickoff team,
I kept saying, if he gets this ball right here,
so
I
see how the ball's
think
kind of
Cooper Rush
land
would take him down there and tie this game up.
sideways, and he's going to try to kick the back of that tee, the back of that point, and use the turf, let the turf do the rest.
Still has to go to the 45 before Cowboys can touch it. Still rolling. A good job to cut that ball off by the Falcons, and sure enough, it was Kyle Pitts.
And of course, that was the end of the ball game, and they just ran the clock out. And the Dallas Cowboys fall once again, another week later. So we don't know going forward. He got the Eagles on next week. And I'm not quite sure if Dak will be available, if CeeDee Lamb will be available. From the looks of it, man, I'll go with Cooper Rush. Who knows? I might start me a quarterback controversy. What y'all think? What y'all think? I'm just saying. But it seems like a lot of y'all still got hope in Dak Prescott. I hear you. I hear you loud and clear. But see, the replay, we right here. The replay, the DFW replay. Nah, we're going to call it like we see it. We are going to call it like we see it. Okay, I got my boy Weeks Wheels in the house. Let me see what Weeks got for me, man. He said they have a leadership. They have no leadership. Bill Belichick is the only coach I know that could fix this fastest. Other than that, they would never ever go to another Super Bowl as long as Jerry Jones. What will? I can't disagree. He won't get out the way, man. I mean, I think it is what it is. I don't, there's no use in us continuing to go down that road because Jerry Jones, man, he is just fixated on doing it his way. I think the only thing that's gonna take him out, man, is when the angel of death comes, and nobody can defeat that. But right now, it's gonna get real interesting, man. But I want to know from you guys, though, really though, if Shedeur Sanders is sitting there, he falls in your lap. Let's just say you just have this is a bomb season. We call a season now. Do you take Shedeur Sanders? I'm on the record saying there's no way you can pass over. There's just no way you can pass over. I'd rather go ahead and hit the restart button. Yeah, but the season, as they say, it's not over, and it's still a young season, but it's starting to get old, guys. It's starting to get old. And from the looks of it, I don't think Michael Parsons and DeRon Bland or DeMarcus Lawrence, I don't think those guys, the Cavalry's going to be back in time, man, to kind of turn this thing around. I can say that the Dallas Cowboys, they've been fighting hard and leaving it out on the field. CeeDee Lamb, I can't take nothing away from CeeDee Lamb. Say what you want, but you cannot question CeeDee Lamb's toughness. You know, there's a lot of guys out there that I feel like, you know, they played their heart out, man. Especially the boy Lawson Overshawn. Overshawn is going. He's that dude. I think he has a real bright future as long as he can stay healthy. Yeah, you have too much baggage, man. Too much baggage, Weeks. You're right. Too much baggage. Let me see. So I tell y'all what. Give me a prediction. What do y'all think the Cowboys gonna end this year? Truthfully. What do y'all think? Chat out in the comment for me right quick. What do you think the Dallas Cowboys gonna do the rest of the season? You think they're gonna go 5-12? Do you think they may, win a, what 9? I mean, 7-10. I mean, what do you think? You think they got a chance to win the NFC East? Do you think they can fight back and win the NFC East? I mean, I'd like to know. I'd like to know. I want to make sure I ain't the only crazy one. You know what I'm saying? Y'all say if I think they're gonna go 5-12, which at the beginning of the season I didn't think that, but also you can't predict injuries either. So it is what it is. But yeah. Again, if you all are just joining, this is the replay where we're still trying to make your day. Don't forget to hit the subscribe, the like, the share, the notification button. This is just one of the channels that I do. The other channel that I do is called Black Vocracy Podcast, and that's on a different channel. So don't forget to go over and subscribe, like, and share also for me on that channel. Also, let me share with you guys on tomorrow. I'm planning on going live on Black Vocracy. We're going to have a Super Tuesday pre-dialogue conversation where I'll be live at 8 o'clock tomorrow Central Time on the Black Vocracy channel. And this is going to be really about not so much who you voting for or who you like. I'm not in. What I want to know tomorrow when we do this particular segment of this show is the state of African American people and where do we go as a unified community. Unified, underline the word unified community. I want to know where do we go as a unified community, regardless of who get in. Because again, we got to have a new normalcy, a new narrative, and we want to talk about it. We want to have a civil dialogue, a civil conversation, because I'm just sick. And I know some of y'all, even if you did choose the left side with Kamala or those who chose Trump on the right side, I know y'all have to understand the economy and what's going on. Pepsi just laid off hundreds of people, went to work, didn't even realize they had a job. I know we're talking about sports, but I got to get this in right quick. They showed up for work and didn't even have a job. So they laid off a whole bunch of people. Meanwhile, you got immigrants and migrants coming over here getting $15,000, EBT cards and everything else, and they want our tax dollars to pay for it. So I just want to have a civil conversation tomorrow to see whatever happens tomorrow, where do the African-American community go from there? Again, it's time for us to start moving up the totem pole. So we'll be talking about that tomorrow on the Black Vocracy Podcast, 8 o'clock p.m. Central Time. But today, the Dallas Cowboys once again fall to the Atlanta Falcons 21-27, and that's all I really have to say. It is what it is. I picked the Atlanta Falcons before the day even started because I just didn't think the Dallas Cowboys had enough people coming back. And then again, you leave someone like Ezekiel at the house, and you got a 4th and 1 where you can continue to, keep that drive alive, but you decide to do a jet sweep to CeeDee Lamb. I mean, it just goes to show you, man, I just don't think these guys really know what they're wanting to do this year with the type of personnel that they have. But we'll see. So, guys, that's going to do it for the replay sports show. Again, don't forget to hit that subscribe, like, and share button. I appreciate y'all for jumping on with me. We're going to come again, be right back at you with another Dallas Cowboys post game on next week when they go up against the Philadelphia Eagles. And we'll see what happens. But until then, man, y'all stay safe. Out there. And like I said, we're going to be back on tomorrow, 8 o'clock p.m. Central Time on the Black Vocracy Podcast. Y'all see, those who follow me, you'll see when I go live on. All right, we're going to have a civil dialogue. And just, I want to know, seriously, where do we go as African-American people after Super Tuesday on Tuesday, all right? So I appreciate y'all for hopping on with me. Don't put the rope around your neck. It's going to be all right. The sun will shine again. It's just another loss, another tough loss. But the Dallas Cowboys, they are still America's team. You can't take that away from them. All right. So peace and love, y'all. We'll be back at y'all real soon.